Now, in a major relief to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the Supreme Court today has unanimously granted bail to Kejriwal in connection with the CBI case in the now scrapped Delhi excise policy. Justice Surya Kant and Ujjwal Bhuyan concurred on the decision to grant bail, but were at odds concerning the legality of Kejriwal's arrest. Now, while Justice Surya Kant termed Kejriwal's prolonged incarceration as unjust deprivation of liberty, he has upheld the legality of the arrest as there were no procedural irregularities on part of the CBI, which was challenged by Kejriwal. The bench cautioned CBI and asked the Central Probe Agency to dispel the notion of being a caged parrot and ensure that investigation in the case is fair. The Delhi Chief Minister is set to walk out of Tihar jail, but his bail comes with certain conditions imposed by the top court. He is barred from visiting the Chief Minister's office or the Delhi Secretariat as part of the bail conditions imposed. He's also been ordered not to make any public comment on the merits of the case. Now, Kejriwal may campaign for the upcoming polls, but he has not been allowed to discharge duties as Chief Minister, which entails that he cannot sign any official files or participate in the legislative work of the state. He's also been told not to make any statements in connection to the sub judice case and not meet any witnesses related to it. So what exactly does this mean? How much of a victory really is this for Arvind Kejriwal? And is the timing significant given the fact that Delhi elections are just a few months away? Let me go across to my guest joining me at this point, Dr. Anil Gupta, spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Nikhil Patel, political analyst who observes and understands the Congress party. I'm also expected to be joined by Huda Zariwala, political analyst who understands and expects the Aam Aadmi Party. Dr. Anil Gupta, let me start with you first. A very important statement coming in from Justice Bhuyan in the verdict, and I'm going to read that part out, that I am of the unhesitant view that the belated arrest of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal by the CBI is unjustified, and the continued incarceration of the appellant in the case following such an arrest has become untenable. Very emphatic words coming out from one of the senior judges of the CGI, which essentially indicates that the arrest by the CBI at a time when Arvind Kejriwal had already been given bail by the ED was unjustified, and perhaps the timing was something that was problematic. Does this not strengthen the Aam Aadmi Party's argument that Mr. Kejriwal and other leaders of the party were put in jail as part of a witch hunt by central agencies?
Yeah, good afternoon to you and all the viewers. You know, the Delhi CM who was in the Tihar is now is an accused who is out on the bail. You have read the one part of the judgment. Let me read the other part. The Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court has said that his arrest does not suffer from any procedural flaw. Has he ever been, he been quashed, FIR has been quashed, any discharge, any acquittal? No. His arrest has been declared as valid, and there is a solid case against him in the corruption cases. So he is an accused, and he is deprived of his power. You know, now CM will be out on the bail, but he cannot go to his office. He cannot sign any file. What the citizen of Delhi will do of him? When he was in the Tihar, he was non-functional. Still, when he will out of the Tihar, he will also be non-functional. And we have been demanding that for the benefit of the citizens of Delhi, he should resign. Let others put into steps so that at least some work will be done. Delhi is in chaos. There is no development work. Nothing is there. At least now on moral ground, because what plea he took to the Supreme Court that this case is false. Now court has upheld that his arrest is valid. There is no questioning. So now he is an accused, so he should resign.
Yeah. Okay. Huda Zariwala, Aam Aadmi Party leaders may be celebrating today, but I don't see a lot of cause for Delhi citizens to celebrate, because effectively they still have an absent chief minister, because Mr. Kejriwal has been very clearly barred from discharging his duties as chief minister by the Supreme Court.
Is the question directed to me?
Yes, it is to you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Huda Zariwala, and that question was to you.
Right. Well, honestly, today is a day of massive celebration for the entire family of Aam Aadmi Party. Arvind Kejriwal ji has been granted bail after almost half a year. This is no joke. Neither the ED nor the CBI were actually, in fact, able to prove anything against him. This only goes on to show that this was a crazy witch hunt. This was, based out of pure political vendetta. There has been no substantial proof to prove anything against Arvind Kejriwal ji or Aam Aadmi Party for that matter. One after another,
Huda
all
Zariwala
our
ji, let me
leaders
just
have
cut
been
you
granted
short
bail.
there. I don't want to interrupt you, but I can't. I don't want to interrupt you, but I can't. I have to fact check. The charges have not been proved or disproved yet. He has been given bail. That doesn't mean that the charges don't hold. The trial
Well,
continues. I'm sure you understand that's how the
Well,
process works.
absolutely, absolutely. But then let us not forget this entire fight was from the jail till the bail, because getting the bail itself in a PMLA Act, as far as the ED's arrest is concerned, is itself such a difficult thing. Not only has he been granted bail with the ED, we have also seen how one of the judges has mentioned that the CBI arrest was a clear cause of a clear case of frustration. So this only goes on to prove that the BJP is not able to prove anything against Arvind Kejriwal ji. I mean, obviously the BJP, well, before they were shouting, where's the bail, where's the bail, now they're complaining, it's a conditional bail, he's not allowed to discharge his duties as a CM. All of that, is not as relevant as the fact that he has been granted bail not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times now, ever since his arrest. So let us not forget he is still the sitting chief minister of Delhi, a person who has honestly discharged his duties even when he was behind bars. It's not like the work of Delhi was suffering. We have seen how, one after another, our leaders were being attacked. Everybody, except for Dr. Satyendra Jain, have been granted bail. And we are very sure that any time, any day now, even Dr. Satyendra Jain will be out on bail. And then, this
But
entire
ma'am,
trial will
how
go
does
on.
Arvind
It's a
Kejriwal
matter of
discharge his duties now as chief minister? He has been barred from doing that by the Supreme Court. My question
but
you have
that is
not
but
answered
that
here.
is
What
but that is
cause
but
does
that is
Delhi have
something.
to celebrate here? Because at the end of the day, its chief minister is still missing.
Just the fact that BJP was fighting tooth and nail to ensure that not only Arvind Kejriwal ji stays behind bars, but he is not granted bail. We have seen how one after another, if it's not the ED, then it's the CBI. If it's not the CBI, it's back, the ED
You're not
again.
answering my point,
Everybody,
Huda
even the
Zariwala. Let me go
witnesses.
across to Dr. Nikul Patel. No, Huda Zariwala, you're repeating the same thing again and again. This is the third time I've asked you the question. The point is that Mr. Kejriwal is effectively barred from being the Chief Minister of Delhi. Should he not then step down? And should the Aam Aadmi Party,
Well,
in
I
its
believe I believe
responsibility to the people of Delhi, which
The Home
elected
Ministry at
67
this point needs
MLAs,
to step down, because
one second.
clearly everything that they were trying against Arvind Kejriwal ji has been proven a lie, an absolute lie. The
Ma'am,
entire
ma'am,
junta of Delhi, the entire
ma'am,
country
Miss
is
Zariwala,
witnessing this.
I don't understand,
Today,
ma'am, please try to come up with an intelligent answer for heaven's sake. I'm not talking of
honest,
morality here. The Supreme Court has barred the Supreme Court has barred Arvind Kejriwal from discharging his duties as Delhi Chief Minister.
and
The
yet,
people of Delhi 4.5 years ago elected
according,
60 plus MLAs
allow
to
me,
the assembly. Is
please
it
allow
not the
me to answer that.
responsibility of the Aam Aadmi
Okay,
Party to find some other ML, some other
allow
leader
me to
who can
allow me
represent
to
Delhi, who can represent the party as chief minister for the next 6 months?
allow me to answer that. According to the People's Representation Act 1951, Arvind Kejriwal ji, even when he was behind bars, he was allowed to stay as the chief minister of Delhi. We've seen time and again how the BJP has kind of tried to, counter that, but then he still stayed the CM. Now that he's out, the bail may be conditional, but then again, these are conditions that can be worked out by the lawyers in the court. Modifications can be done. There is a provision for all of that. He still remains the popular chief minister of Delhi. According to the courts of law, according to the constitution, he is still allowed to discharge his duties as a chief minister. He may not be able to sign certain papers, he may not be able to go to the CM office, but that certainly doesn't mean that the work of Delhi is being hampered.
A chief
We have
minister is not
ministers in
able to go
all
to the chief minister's office. A chief
places.
minister is not able to sign papers. I don't understand how that person is still a chief minister.
And
Nevertheless,
that is something
Dr.
the
Nikul
courts are
Patel,
going.
what is the one second? Miss Sariwala, I've heard your point. I've understood what you're trying to say. Whether it's convincing or not, I leave that to my viewers. I want to bring in Dr. Nikul Patel at this point. What does the Congress now do, given the fact that you have the tricky situation where you're trying to form an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party in Haryana? You have tried and not tried, and you failed to form an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi for the Lok Sabha election. Then after that, the message came out very clearly: the assembly elections you're going to fight separately. The fact still remains: if the Congress wants to be taken seriously as a player in Delhi, it has to raise the fact that Delhi is currently in limbo because its chief minister was first in jail, now is barred from going to the chief minister's office.
See, firstly, as per the law, unless and until someone is convicted by the court, we cannot blame that he's done something wrong. Right now, if we see sequentially, what happens is October 23, March 21, 24, May 10. Chronologically, if we see, the Arvind Kejriwal was granted a bail, again taken into the bus, and now again he is granted bail. But the trial will definitely happen, and he has to prove himself that he is not guilty. Now, secondly, definitely Aam Aadmi Party had suffered an indentation of such cases that has been charged by the ED as well as CBI regarding the corruptions. And definitely the Congress, what you are asking is that Congress will look into it. And whenever there will be polls for Delhi, the High Commission, High Command and the Central Election Committee will declare what to do with whether to continue with the alliance in Delhi or not. That is a part of that. But at present, if we see, the bail is granted, definitely it will be a good thing for Aam Aadmi Party because their chief minister, but not now he was working from the jail, but he can directly not participate into the activity as per the court's guideline, but definitely an effective working of Kejriwal can now be found into the day-to-day routines. His suggestion, his valuable inputs. That is what I can say. But at present, Congress says that as per the constitution, he is granted bail. The Bharatiya Janata Party got the answer from the Supreme Court and they cannot say that something is still wrong. Let's see what happened in future with the Kejriwal. But at present, we are also happy that someone who is getting a bail is out. And now the Kejriwal has to prove whether he is right or wrong.
Okay, let me go back to Dr. Anil Gupta. Dr. Gupta, during the UPA rule, one of the words which really stung the CBI was its description as a caged parrot. Today, after many years, that description has come back in the order and the observation of the Supreme Court to refer to the CBI. I ask you once again, and I ask you to answer the question directly to the point. In a situation where optics still win elections here and not legalities here, has the BJP lost the perception battle by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal trying to project himself as a martyr who has been targeted once by the ED, once by the CBI, Tariq pe Tariq going on to keep him behind bars? He might not have been acquitted, he might not have been proven guilty, but today when he's going to walk out of the jail, there will be a massive optics and spectacle around him, and there will possibly be a sympathy wave around the chief minister.
You remember when he was out on the bail before the Lok Sabha election, the same perception was made by the Aam Aadmi Party and their leaders. What happened? They lost badly in the Lok Sabha election in the Delhi, 7-0. His first campaign was from the Kalyanpuri.
Dr. Anil Gupta, Aam Aadmi Party lost 7-0 in 2024, in 2019, in 2014.
But
in all 3 years, right, 8 months later, they won more than 60 seats. So I'm sure that is no longer a justification or no longer a point of argument.
You mentioned about the perception. I said the same thing. They have mentioned the jail se vote. The same thing which they are saying. They said that time also. What was the result that time? Just at the cost of repetition mentioning. And whatever comment the Honorable Supreme Court had made, I think the agency has to answer, not the me. I'm a BJP spokesperson. But I think today, Delhi CM has not got any relief, only the Kejriwal has got. And on the moral ground, because now he cannot function as the Chief Minister of Delhi, he should resign. There should be a person. They have so many MLAs who can join them as a CM, but they are not doing because there is a dictatorship in the party. There is a one-manship. He don't want to lose his Rajmahal. He don't want to lose his security. He don't want to lose his power. That's why. Why don't he allow anybody, another MLA, at least to serve for 3-4 months? Election is there in the very near future. And they're going to lose that Delhi election also badly because now the citizens of Delhi are ashamed.
So that MLA later joins the BJP like what happened in Jharkhand? Dr. Anil Gupta, so that what happens in Jharkhand now happens in Delhi because what we saw Champai Soren serving as Chief Minister in Hemant Soren's absence, and then he joins the BJP.
I'm answering. See, anybody who has belief in our policy can join. But Kejriwal has joined a group of the people like Lalu Yadav, Madhu Koda and Jayalalitha, who were also there. in the same situation. So now the citizens of Delhi are ashamed that their CM is now a part of that group who were who were in the jail on the corruption, and from coming back to on bail, he is now serving as. I think if he has any moral ground, he should step down. And we have been demanding on a moral ground. All these civic amenities, all the government policies, everything is failed, is stopped in Delhi. Nothing is going on. You know, how Delhi is polluting. So he should step down, I think, morally. Otherwise, the citizen of Delhi, the voters of Delhi will teach him a lesson in the coming election. Yes.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what happens when the citizens of Delhi do get the chance to vote at this point. But of course, elections is about perceptions here. Arvind Kejriwal, along with most of the senior leadership of the Aam Aadmi Party, have been behind bars in judicial custody. The verdict will be seen in terms of how the people of Delhi have seen this entire episode play out. One thing is for sure, Delhi deserves better in terms of having unhindered governance at this point. And at this point, it is a serious question as to whether a chief minister who's not allowed to visit the secretariat, who's not allowed to sign files, but remains so-called popular chief minister of Delhi, should be the right person to helm the national capital, even if it's for the next 6 months. Are we looking effectively at suspended animation for the next 7 to 8 months till elections are announced? Who knows? But thank you so much, Huda Zariwala, Nikul Patel, and also Dr. Anil Gupta for joining me on this short discussion. We will continue to focus this, of course, in prime time as well. Now, let's move on.